Number 7, Matthew Fox. Left fielder, number 10, Jordan Tucker. And on the mound for your Regina Red Sox, left-handed pitcher from San Dimas, California, number 56, Blake Johnson. Under direction of coach Roger Packers, let's throw it up one more time for your Regina Red Sox. Umpire first base Kevin Manzik, at first base Zach Shochan, and at third base Elmer Jovovich.
Joining the Red Sox on the field are Steve's Junior Red Sox, the North Regina Little League AA Cubs, coached by Chris. Also standing on the field are the 15U Athletics in Regina Wolfpack.
We would like to acknowledge that tonight's game is being played on Treaty 4 territory, which is home to the Cree, Saulteaux, Dakota, Lakota, Nakota, and the Métis Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we now ask that you please rise if you're able and remove your headwear and join in Ryan Riley in the singing of our Canadian national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true major love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
We have the starting lineups and the teams are ready to play ball as we welcome you inside the ballpark here at Curry Field. I'm Donovan Mace, joined alongside Jared Klein. Jared, Red Sox are looking to keep early season run rolling.
Yeah, they started 3-1 now on the season with a win last night over these very Mavericks.
That was the first loss Medicine Hat has suffered so far this season. That breaks a 5-game win streak, as well as Regina now has won 1 game in a row and looking to keep that rolling. Jared, you were here last night. How did the game kind of play out?
Yeah, I think the difference in the game was the errors. We saw Med Hat last night boot the ball all over the field, and that's going to be the difference, I think, again tonight. If you can keep the ball under control, that'll be the largest difference in the outcome. Last night, I think Med Hat finished like 7 or 8 errors and giving up 14 runs. A lot of those came with 2 outs, so.
We'll get to Medicine Hat's lineup in just a moment, but first we introduce you to the guy on the mound for Regina tonight. Starting pitcher Blake Johnson out of Rogers State. He is a senior there with the Hellcats. This is his second start of 2025. Last pitch back on May 30th, where he earned a winning decision. He pitched 5 innings, gave up no runs, 1 hit, only walked 1 batter, struck out 6, meaning small sample size here in the WCBL, but very solid first outing for the tall righty.
Yeah, and I think the key we noticed last night against the Mavericks is keeping your off speed and keeping them on their heels in the batter's box.
Well, that brings Yusuke Uzawa to the plate. He'll lead things off for Medicine Hat tonight. He takes a first pitch strike in there, and then he fouls off the next one. So he's down in an 0-2 count early. And Uzawa stays alive. We'll take a look at the rest of the Mavericks lineup. Batting second after Uzawa is Johnny Volcano. In the 3 spot is Tyler Van Nest. Batting cleanup is Carter Roth. 0-2 pitch here is put in play out towards the left fielder, Justin Tucker, and he makes a diving catch for the first out of the ball game.
Wow, that was an incredible catch out there in left field, and definitely the best play over the last 2 nights. Like I said, the Mavericks last night had a lot of errors, but in the 8th inning, the Mavericks scored 6 to make it a closer game, and that was due to the Red Sox errors. So fielding, super important tonight, and that's a great start for Regina.
Johnson starts the at-bat against Johnny Volcano with a called strike. That's Kevin Manzik behind the plate once again tonight, calling the balls and strikes. Over at first base is Zach Chartrand, and then running between second and third is Elmer Jerkovich, the 3-man crew here for the WCBL on a Wednesday night in Regina. Count 2-1. We'll get through the rest of the lineup. Evan Morrison bats 5th for the Mavs. Aaron Volcano 6th. The DH tonight is Adam Volcano, followed by Jaden Babiak and Jeremy Freeman Jr. rounding out the Mavs lineup, who are wearing their red camo jerseys with the gray pants and the black pinch or black striping down the side. 2-2 count here as Volcano goes down swinging. First strikeout of the night for Blake Johnson.
Really great at-bat there, or pitch sequence on that at-bat for Johnson. Keeping in the batter on his heels, not really sure what's coming next, and making him guess at each and every pitch.
Tyler Van Nest now coming up to the plate as he swings at the first pitch. No contact made. Van Nest, one of a few returning Mavericks to this lineup from last year. As Johnson throws another one in there, moves the count to 0-2, working very efficiently here in the first inning. This one hit hard by Van Nest into right field. Played on a hop by Justin Samard and thrown in there, so he'll hold him to the single.
Tyler Van Nest last night finished the game going 0 for 4, but reaching on an error in his, 0 for 5, but reaching on an error in the 4th at bat. Other than that, didn't reach once, striking out once.
Carter Roth, the right-handed hitter, steps in now, looking to move the runner over, and they'll check over at first, and Zach Chartrand says he went around, so the count 0-1. Johnson pickoff attempt over to first. Gets Vanesti sliding in.
Roth last night finished the game 4 for 5, reaching an error in the one at bat that he didn't get a hit recorded. We're unable to get him out last night were the Red Sox.
Yeah, really solid game out of the cleanup spot for Roth. Down in an 0-2, 2-out count here. Vanesti, he runs. And that one inside. They'll give him the base. As he stole that one with ease.
Great jump there at first base. Right-handed pitcher, as soon as you see him make the move, you can go, because especially if it's like Johnson had a slower move on that one.
And Johnson gets Roth looking on the outside. Black gets 4 up, 3 down inning, 2 strikeouts out of Blake Johnson as the Mavs leave 1 on here in the first inning. Red Sox will get their first chance here at Curry Field. We'll be right back. Thanks so much for watching on Flow Sports. Yeah, it is echoey. There's nothing we can do about it.
The one thing that we could, like, the only thing is we might not be able to, like, hear each other.
So unless you have it like this, but like that's the way it would, like that's the only way to fix it. You still have our audio though? Like if we do that, like I just. Okay. So is that good? Like, can you hear me?
It's up to you. Yeah, I can hear you fine
I'm
like
good.
this.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
Back in 10.
Back inside Curry Field after a really solid first inning out of Blake Johnson. The Red Sox looking to get on the board here early, but standing in their way is Tyler Spurriel on the mound, a left-handed pitcher out of Western Texas University, the freshman.
SM Baker comes to the plate here to lead off for the Red Sox. He played last night in a effort where he went, looks like 0 for 4 with a walk, but reached 3 times on errors. So when we talk about those Med had errors, Baker was a huge benefactor of that last night. He scored 3 runs, but never got a hit. So
First pitch strike in there from Spurriel as Baker was taken all the way. That one in the dirt, but Baker goes around, called strike 2 on the swing. For Spurriel, this too is his second start early here in the 2025 Western Canadian Baseball League season. Last pitch back on May 29th, where he started. No decision though, 4 innings pitched. Gave up a run, it was earned, 4 hits, 5 walks. As Baker grounds this one to the shortstop, Johnny Volcano, and they get him easily over there first, 1 away.
yeah, it was a different at-bat from what we saw from Baker last night. Last night he really worked the ABs, got late into counts, wasn't really swinging that much outside the zone, and was putting the ball in play, and the Mavericks were making errors off of that. Tonight it was more swings early, and he grounded to the shortstop, and the shortstop was able to make the play tonight.
So Baker already down. He'll lead off for Regina tonight. That brings Raphael Jackson to the plate as he check swings there, called the ball. The rest of the lineup, Jaden Kalura will bat third. James Wright's in the cleanup spot tonight. Justin Samard bats 5th out of the right field. Riley Bender at 6. Brady Bai is the Red Sox DH tonight, the Regina product. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one also in the dirt, ball 2. And then Matthew Fox and Jordan Tucker round out the 9-man lineup for Regina.
Raphael Jackson last night had an absolutely great game. He went 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs last night, named the player of the game by the Red Sox.
Continuing what's been a really good season for the center fielder is Jackson.
Jackson started the season only 17 at bats to start the season, but that is a 353 average. with 6 hits.
So that one gets away from the catcher, but it's a walk nonetheless on ball 4. That brings Jaden Kalura to the plate with a man on first base, and only one away. Red Sox looking to get on the board early, just as they did last night in the first inning. That was really the key, was a really hot start in the first inning last night, Jared.
Yeah, and that's where we saw a lot of those errors really pop up for the Mavericks last night, was in that first inning, and it continued throughout the game, but the majority of them came in that first inning, and it really did make a difference. As you saw, was it 6 runs, I believe, in the first inning, 4 runs in the first inning. They really had a lot of errors, and it really bit
there goes Jackson. They'll throw over to first. The play at second is in time, and they get him on the pickoff. Caught stealing a 1-3-6 on the scorecard. Great decision by Spuriel to go over there and get him.
Yeah, that was a great move by Spuriel. He lifted his leg, waited, saw Jackson was going, because he's a lefty, was not committed to play, and was able to make the move to get the man.
So it was a 1-0 count with 1 away and a runner on first, but now it is a 1-1 count with 2 outs and nobody on for Jaden Kalura. Left-handed batter. He's the catcher this evening. Second half of the battery with Blake Johnson.
Second night in a row for Kalura behind the dish.
Kalura hits this one high into right field, but playable by Aaron Volcano, and makes the easy grab. It's a 1-2-3 inning when it's all said and done. Red Sox don't leave any on and score no runs. Still 0-0 as we head to the second. We'll be right back on FloCollege.
SGU, Roger Porter of the Regina Red Sox, making life better for families with strong public services. And if you want to go straight right there with the Red Sox, check out all the details at reginaredsox.ca. Looking at the WCBL action, don't let the final out begin. Continue following our baseball action on FloCollege with live games, highlights, and replays. Visit FloCollege.com to learn more. That's FloCollege.com.
Back for the second inning here. Mavericks will bring the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Evan Morrison, Aaron Volcano, and Adam Volcano to the plate against Blake Johnson. Johnson off to a really good start so far. They give up a hit rather. Sorry for cutting you off. A hit in the first inning, but otherwise, really solid outing so far. Through 1 inning for the righty.
Sorry, I was just going to go back to that caught stealing there back in the first. Raphael Jackson there in the bottom of the first got caught stealing. He's stolen 4 bags through his first 4 games here with the Red Sox this season. He's not only is it his first time getting caught stealing, it's the first time the Red Sox have ever been caught stealing all season.
They have been aggressive on the base pads so far in 2025. We saw a little bit of that last year as well, as Morrison grounds this one over to right, and he takes it to the bag himself. Out number 1.
There's a pretty good play there out there by right. A little bit of an easy ground ball. He's just able to handle it. But like I said, those are the ones that both teams were kind of booting last night. So that's what we want to see out of these teams. Nice, clean fielding, not rushing yourself, making sure you make the play. The worst thing you can do is miss the ball when you should have made it and it goes in the field. Now it's a double. Or a 2-base error in that case.
First pitch, breaking ball is inside, called a ball as well. So it's a 1-0 count here with one away to Aaron Volcano. That pitch in there from Blake Johnson, good correction on the fastball, evens the count at 1.
In the 4th inning last night, Aaron Volcano drove one over the left field wall just past the scoreboard for his first home run of the year. It was a great swing on a little bit of a mistake pitch, and Aaron Volcano did not miss it at all.
1-2 count. As Johnson gets Volcano swinging. Already his 3rd strikeout here with 2 outs in the 2nd.
And something I've noticed early in this game is the difference in the pitching. Last night we had Hungerford out for the Red Sox. Holden Hungerford is not a big strikeout guy, and he was able to get a lot of ground balls and a lot of pop flies for the defense. Tonight, through less than 2 innings, we have a guy with already 3 strikeouts, and that's just different. That's hard on the hitters to see what's coming and see something different, more of a strikeout pitcher here.
A little more swing and miss out of Blake Johnson than maybe a Holden Hungerford who pitches to contact. He's more command-oriented. Great little slider there out of Johnson. Strike number 2 has Adam Volcano down in an 0-2 count. Looking to put him away.
I bet you the Med Hat crew has the Volcano name nailed. Just having to say it 3 times an inning almost.
Very quick inning out of Blake Johnson as he strikes out the last 2 batters to retire the side. It remains 0-0 here. Red Sox coming to bat. We'll be right back. Pitchers are doing their part. Yeah. There's only been 35 pitches so far. Yeah. Part of the 2nd upcoming, and it is our first chance to see Medicine Hat Mavericks so far this season. And man, they've been putting up runs on the board. Yes, they are 5-1, but they have one of the hottest offenses to start 2025, Jaden.
Yeah, we were talking about this last night. Before last night, I think we said they had 1 game where they had scored under 10 runs, and they've been an absolute wagon offensively. And for most of the night last night, we didn't see that until the 8th inning when they put up 6 runs, and all of a sudden they got 9 on the board, and it happens fast with this Mavericks team.
Jaden writes in, yes, 74 runs scored in 6 games for the Mavericks. They have given up 50 as well. So, ooh, as this one drills right in the back. So Wright will take first base the hard way.
Yeah.
But the leadoff runner gets on nonetheless for Justin Simard. Now looking at the season series last year, so these were the top 2 teams in the regular season. Regina took the season series 5-3, but then in the playoffs they never even got to play each other because they both lost in the first round.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is we kind of went, or at least I went into the playoffs thinking, especially with the Red Sox, thinking that these two teams would meet up in the East Final. It never did end up happening, as the Red Sox eventually lost to the Moose Jaw Miller Express, who eventually went on to make the league championship series and losing to the Okotoks Dogs.
Smart makes contact here. It goes to the third baseman, Vanessa, who doesn't even look at second. He'll take the easy out at first. Runner advances to second.
I think fans, as we speak about last year, are kind of expecting a really good season from both these ball clubs again this year. A lot of returning players for the Red Sox. We're talking last night, the Mavericks have a fairly young team, but also have a lot of returning players and a lot of veteran presence at the same time, and they could be a dangerous team for quite a few years here.
It's a good mix, which is what you want. As Riley Bender steps in, takes a first pitch ball in the dirt. Spuriel, I've already noticing, working a little bit more to contact. He's only needed 15 pitches so far. This one just a little bit high. As he looks at Kevin Manzik, saying he wanted the call there. The wind blowing out just slightly straight to center field tonight. As we see those flags down at half-mast. In remembrance of Jesse Lubinecki.
Yeah,
pitcher out of Regina who tragically passed away on Friday.
Jesse attended Martin Collegiate Baseball Academy with myself and graduated together in the year 2021.
As Bender gets himself locked up in a 2-2 count. Been talking to the team, though, since they want to play for their late teammate. As Spuriel steps off. Did him well last night with a 14-9 win. And Bender goes down swinging, out number 2 here in the second. Brings the left-handed hitter Brady By to the plate. Decent season so far for Brady. He's only appeared in 2 games. He's 3 for 9. It's 2 runs, a double, run batted in, walked once, a strikeout. Slugging .444 in his small sample size. So he takes on the lefty-lefty matchup, swinging at the first pitch in the dirt.
By last year was his first season, I believe, with the Red Sox, batting .221 in 27 games, having, let me see if I can find it here, 1 home run, 15 RBIs.
This one out of the hand a little early out of Spuriel. Evens the count at 1. James Wright leading off at second. They're holding him on a little bit slightly. This one hit high and hard out to right field. That one over the wall. It's a home run for the Regina kid. Brady By gets Regina on the board. 2-0 Red Sox.
Absolute great piece of hitting there by Brady By. Turning on that pitch, sending it over that short porch in right field at 309 and onto the hill. Crowd here in Regina loves that one from the local boy.
The first home run out of a Regina Red Sox this season propels Regina out to an early lead. Brady By showing off the power.
Just as I was mentioning, Brady By only had 1 home run last year. He ties his season total just 5 games in, and only in his 3rd game. So great swing there from By.
Ryan Pathakos will take more swings like that out of the young man.
Matthew Fox up at the plate here. He was one spot ahead last night. He was batting 6th. Tonight he's in the 7th hole, or 8th hole, pardon me. So he's batting 2 spots behind where he was last night after a struggling performance. He did have a really nice double, which he was not able to come around and score on in the 6th inning. Other than that, he had 4 strikeouts.
He was check swinging on the previous pitch. Zach Sartran said he did not go around, so it was a 2-1 count, and then he's swinging at the next one, a changeup in the dirt. Evens the count at 2 with 2 away. And he stays alive here, fouls that one to the back stump. Yeah, despite a shaky performance last night, Fox is batting .350, 7 for 20, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, has struck out 9 times. 2-2 pitch, makes contact again, and that one's out of play. Pretty decent here, pretty decent night here at Curry Field. Comfortable evening, although starting to cool off. Wasn't as hard or as hot as what we saw in the home opener, not as windy as it was last night.
You know, actually, as we were talking about this, the wind last night died down pretty fast. Like, we noticed it in the 3rd inning coming down, and then by the 7th, there was no wind at all.
So after the 2-run home run by Brady Bye, Matthew Fox goes down swinging for the 3rd out of the inning. That's the bright spot so far for Regina. It's a 2-0 lead after 2. We'll be back here for the 3rd inning on Flow Sports.
All right, Red Sox fans, I'm down on the ground with Karina. Are you having a good time tonight? Yes. We love to hear it. Okay, so Karina, we're going to play the 5-second rule. So I need you to list off 5 things in your purse in 5 seconds. Can you do it? All right, let's hear it. Phone, wallet, keys, debit, credit. What's first? She was quick with it. Karina,
P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5. And a key card.
Your phone number.
Top of the 3rd inning now. The Medicine Hat Mavericks find themselves in a very different situation coming to the plate here as they have the previous 2 innings. They will bring the 8, 9, and leadoff hitters to the plate. Jaden Babiak, Jeremy Freeman Jr., and Yusuke Uzawa to lead things off. First pitch ball out of Blake Johnson. He's looking to hold the lead here.
As we look at Babiak here, he's only gotten into 3 games so far this season. 8 at-bats, 3 hits for .375. He has 2 walks to go along with that and only 2 strikeouts. You love to see a hitter who can walk as much as he strikes out. If he can keep that up the rest of the season, that'd be a good ball player.
Last played back on May 31st, went 1 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout. First plate appearance of the night here for the 8-hole hitter. He is the catcher. I feel like these innings have been going so quickly, I haven't even done the defensive alignment for Regina. The battery is Blake Johnson and Jaden Kalura, James Wright, Sand Baker, Riley Bender first, second, third, Matthew Fox over in the shortstop hole, and Jordan Tucker, Raphael Jackson, and Justin Samard right to left. Left to right, sorry. So it's a 3-1 count for Blake Johnson. Big swing out of Babiak. He moves the count to full as Johnson works his way back into this one after 3 straight balls to start the at-bat. Contact out of Babiak right at Bender. Not hit hard, and it's an easy play for the third baseman.
Had to get a little bit up off his feet, but it overall wasn't a hard play to make, and he made it well.
Jeremy Freeman Jr. comes to the plate. He's played in all 5 games, in 5 of the 6 games for Medicine Hat already this year. .316 average coming in, 6 for 19. 1 double, 1 triple, 6 batted in. Also has 5 stolen bases, so he will run if he gets on base. Really turning the lineup over for this Medicine Hat team is Freeman. Hits this one hard. That's through the hole and into left field as a 1-out single for the 9-hole hitter, Freeman.
Freeman got on in the 3rd inning last night after an 8-hole out, and so he got a 1-out double last night and came around to score to get the Mavericks on the board for that first run. Now a similar situation, 1-out single this time. Wonder if he can come around again and get the Mavericks on the board. That's what they'll be looking to do here and capitalize on that 1-out single.
Second hit of the ball game so far through 2 1/3 innings for Medicine Hat, as we have another pickoff look over at first, but Freeman back in there easily. Leadoff hitter Yusei Uzawa back at the plate. Now for Johnson, the senior out of Rogers State, as we'll get back to that one. This one hit into left field, but under it easily is Jordan Tucker, out number 2 on the flyout.
And we did mention earlier about the aggressiveness of the Red Sox on the base paths, having 12 steals through their first 4. Well, through their first 6, the Mavericks have a similar clip of 3 per game at 18. They've been caught stealing twice, though. But, yeah, so through their first 6, 18 stolen bases.
Finish that thought here on Jackson. He appeared in 24 games for the Hillcats. Another pickoff attempt. No starts, though, so interesting to see him get the starting role here in Regina. Was 0-1 in 2025. Did have 2 saves, 37 1/3 innings pitched. As there goes the runner. The play at second, not in time. Stolen base again here.
It's a great jump again there by Freeman.
Second stolen base already of the night for Medicine Hat. It's just like Regina. They are aggressive on the base paths. We're seeing that early this season. Pickoff attempt back to the second baseman. Has Freeman diving back.
That is Freeman Jr.'s 6th steal of the season through, I guess, 7 games now, 6 and a bit.
That one just inside has Volcano's feet moving slightly. So Volcano now 0-1 for the evening. He's in a 2-0, 2-out at bat here. No batting gloves, just noticing that for the right-handed hitter. That one in there. What a pitch out of Blake Johnson.
A little bit of old school there from Johnny Volcano. I love to see that every once in a while. Just guy go no batting gloves. You know the rule, right? Once you take the batting gloves off, you can't swing with them on again. That's just
big swing there. Volcano now in his third season with Medicine Hat. More than 100 games played, regular season in the Western Canadian Baseball League. So that one is low. Johnson wanted it. Couple fans as well wanting Kevin Manzik to call it a strike, but it's a full count instead.
.263 average last year out of Volcano.
This one poked towards the second baseman, Baker, who throws it over to right. Easy 4-3 putout for out number 3. Mavs leave a runner on, and the score remains 2-0 Regina. We'll be back bottom of the 3rd upcoming here on Flow Sports. Stay with us after the break. Jordan Tucker steps into the right-handed batter's box here to start the bottom of the third inning. He'll lead things off, followed by Sam Baker and Raphael Jackson as the lineup turns over for Regina here. They were able to touch up the young lefty Tyler Spurriel with a home run in the last inning, looking to pour it on here. First pitch ball out of Spurriel.
As we look at Jordan Tucker this year, he leads the team in average among the Red Sox. 375 through his first 4 games, 16 at-bats, 2 doubles.
This one well in the dirt. Moves the count to 2-0 here. And went 2 for 4 last night. 3 runs scored. Was also hit by a pitch and had 2 stolen bases himself.
Those 2 stolen bases from last night are the total for him on the season. He hasn't had a steal before last night, but was able to get both last night, and see if that continues throughout the rest of the season and into tonight and throughout the rest of the season.
3-0 pitch is inside as he takes a leadoff walk on 4 straight pitches. Leadoff runner on. As Tucker turns the lineup over to bring up Sam Baker to the plate. Baker grounded out to lead the ball game off for Regina in the first inning.
In the top of this inning, we talked about how Freeman has done such a good job for the Mavericks turning lineup over. And the Red Sox have a guy like that of their own, and Tucker. He's, like I said, he's leading the team at average at the bottom of the order. That's a guy you want down there. Get your top of your order, your best hitters, maybe get down to those power guys again if you can get a couple hits together, and that's what you want.
So have a look over at first. Again, the battery tonight for Medicine Hat is Tyler Spurriel and Jaden Babiak, Evan Morrison, Carter Roth, Tyler Van Nest, first, second, third, Johnny Volcano over there at short, UCA Uzawa, Jeremy Freeman Jr., and Aaron Volcano, the outfield left to right. As Baker lays down a bunt here, but it hits the bat. Probably best case scenario for Regina there.
Yeah, last night Baker did lay down a bunt earlier in the game, and that led to an error that ultimately scored quite a few runs, actually.
Said we're working fast and efficiently already through this one. No outs here in the bottom of the third. Spurriel, 35 pitches thrown. We've only been playing for just a little bit more than 38 minutes. So moving very quickly for this one. Counts at 1-2. And Baker goes down looking as Kevin Manzik rings him up on the fastball on the inside part of the plate. Third strike of the ball game for Spurriel.
Jackson steps in here and we look back. He reached on a walk last time and then got caught stealing on that pickoff move by Spurriel with that 1-3-6.
Another move over there to first has Tucker moving back. And they're standing up though.
After last night's 4-hit performance for Jackson, he comes into this game with a .352 average. Something about early season baseball and how quickly your average can change with one really good or one really bad game.
There goes the runner from first. Play at second, not in time. It's a stolen base for Jordan Tucker.
As we talk about how Jordan Tucker got both of his 2 stolen bases in the last night's game, here's his third, and I'm thinking this is going to continue. He's got some speed. He really knows how to read those pitchers. That was a good jump on a left-handed pitcher and was able to make it in there in time.
I'm sure probably also building the confidence of the coaching staff if they do need to send a runner in a tight ball game. You're looking to generate something.
Got a hitter's count here for Jackson. Guy who had a great game last night.
3-1 count well inside. Wasn't even close. Second walk of the inning for Spurriel, and there's runners on first and second now.
Now, if you're Spurriel and you have 2 walks in this inning and you got 1 out, you really just got to settle yourself down, pitch breaking balls down in the zone, hope to get a rollover and get that double play and get out of this. Worst case scenario, something soft at a guy, can only get the 1 out. You just move the runners up. You really don't want to give up any more runs here, down 2-0 early.
That one also high as he struggles to find the zone now for Spurriel with the Westerners last year. 14 appearances, just the 1 start, but worked a lot of innings out of the pen. 61 innings, was 0-3. 41 runs against, 31 of those earned, gave up 40 walks, struck out 64, so at a K per 9 of almost 9.5. So we thought he was a pitch to contact guy, but really he'll throw the strikeout pitch, an ERA of 4.5 and a whip of 1.5 as the catcher Babia comes out to have a quick conversation with the lefty.
As they sit here watching the infielders and the catcher meet with their pitcher with their arm. I'm looking at this scorecard here, and he struck out the guy right after that by home run, Matthew Fox. But since then, walked the first batter this inning, struck out the second, now has walked the third, and is down 2-0 here to the 4th batter in the inning. That combined with the movement on the bases, I have to wonder how much it's sitting in his head and how much they just got to get him back in the zone. And I think that's what this meeting is about here.
Was a young man pitching tonight, and you look at his battery partner behind the plate in Babiak. He's a senior, so he's maybe seen a little bit more. Clearly has the command of the infield and the ball club behind the plate does Babiak.
Quite a versatile senior too. Catcher, outfield, shortstop. They have him listed at here, so plays everything. And catcher who can
the
play
mound visit works as he throws a very nice pitch in there for strike number 1. The count now 2-1 here.
Catcher can play the outfield and the shortstop position. Those are 3 really hard positions to really master, and he does all 3 of them pretty well. So.
Jordan Tucker leading off as second. Raphael Jackson off of first. 2-1 pitch. Swinging hard is Kalura. This one is in the gap between the right and left fielder. The right fielder, Volcano, calls off Freeman. The throw over to third as both runners advance. On the second out fly ball.
You know, maybe more so at this level, but really overall in baseball, you don't see a lot of tags from first to second. And I wonder if that's something they saw in their scouting report, in something they noticed last night where their right fielder just throws it hard at the base and doesn't always hit his cutoff man, and that they can get there from first if you got a faster guy on the base, like you do with Jackson.
So that brings James Wright back up to the plate. He was hit by a pitch in his first appearance and then came around to score on the Brady Bye home run. Takes a first pitch ball on the outside. Black. After working fairly efficiently in the first 2 innings, Spurriel working much harder here in the third as the Regina offense really digs in. This one low and inside. 2-0 now.
As we talk about this Regina offense really digging in, we talked about earlier in this game about how the Mavericks offense can just turn it on in any inning, and you want, as the Red Sox offense, you know you can do that too, but you don't want to have to do that. You want to keep putting runs on every chance you get. This is a great opportunity for these Red Sox.
Big swing out of James Wright. Still ahead in the count though, 2-1. And we mentioned the high-powered offense out of the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Regina, not as much so. Only 33 runs scored, but it's the pitching that has really been the bright spot. They have a game where they only gave up 1 run, and then they also have a shutout. So, yes, they gave up 9 runs last night, but right now that's the outlier.
and an outlier against the outlier of teams too, right? You look at the Mavericks; they're one of, if not the best offense in this league, and that's not to be expected, but explainable if you're that pitching staff and that pitching coach. You can understand where that came from, and with so many errors last night too, it wasn't all on the pitching staff.
3-1 count. This one's popped way up there into center. In on it is Jeremy Freeman. He calls everybody off, and that's the third out as Regina leaves 2 runners in scoring position on base, and Spurriel able to work out of it here. Remains 2-0 Red Sox. We'll be back up for the top of the 4th inning coming up on Flow Sports.
Thank you, Elliot. That's perfect time down on the field with Caleb and Ben. They're getting ready for the Bennett Dunlop Ford Power Wheels race. Let's get the cars out, get the boys set up here. Runaway slider. No, you can't go yet. You can't go. We really wanted a head start, you know? We're gonna reset. All right, take 2. Caleb and Ben, we give you a count of 3. You're gonna throw down the slider to the finish line. 1, 2, 3, go! There we go. Had to get through a few technical difficulties, but they are on the way. Caleb in the lead. Ben's trailing behind to the Ben.
Top of the 4th inning, upcoming Regina up 2-0. Well, they've scored 2 runs, but they only have 1 hit. But man, it's a big one out of Brady Bye.
Yeah, that was an absolute laser out there over that right field wall, and it is only 309 out there to right field, but it still was crushed, and I think it probably would have went out over left field at that speed, and that it landed halfway up that hill out there behind right field.
So now Medicine Hat looks to break through as we enter the middle third of our ball game this evening. Tyler Vanesti will lead things off, followed by Carter Roth and Evan Morrison. The 3-4-5 hitters. So if they're going to have some damage here on the scoreboard, you would expect it to maybe come from this part of the lineup.
You know, I'm just looking at the out-of-town scoreboard here, and we do have Saskatchewan Berries being Fort McMurray, 1-0. The Energy City Cactus Rats. Is that a new team, or did they change the name, or is that like a special name or something? Have you heard of that?
Former Edmonton Prospects.
Ah, okay, there you go. There you go.
After the team moved to Spruce Grove out of Sherwood Park and into their new ballpark.
There we go. Well, that's where that would come from then. Well, they're beating the Brooks Bombers 3-0. Moose Jaw is beating Weyburn 1-0. The Lethbridge Bulls and Swift Current 57s are tied at 1, and Okotoks is beating Sylvan Lake 2-0.
This one hit hard by Vanesti over the second baseman Baker's head. He'll take a peek at second, but it's a leadoff single for Tyler Vanest. Second hit of the ball game already in as many plate appearances for Vanest.
Yeah, 2 singles early in his first 2 at-bats, and really supplying some of this energy in this Mavericks lineup as they really try to get going here in the 4th. And let's see if the rest of that lineup can follow through.
And Carter Roth looked to tie the ball game there with one swing of the bat. A huge first pitch swing out of the second baseman, Roth, as he falls behind in the count 0-1. This one hit hard into left field this time. That falls in front of Tucker. They'll play station to station here. 2 straight base hits, and the Mavericks are threatening.
And Roth this year with that big swing we're talking about, yet to hit a home run, has 1 double, very contact-oriented hitter, batting .550 through their first 6 games. He's played in 4 of them, has 20 at-bats. He scored 7 times and batted in 4, batted in 5, pardon me. So really is a contact hitter, but does have a hard swing when he wants to unleash it.
And with the Doane University Tigers, Roth batted .380, 27 hits, 5 doubles, a triple, 11 batted in. On base percentage of .416, slugged .479, .895 the OPS. And right now he has the 2nd best average in the WCBL of qualified hitters. This one fouled off as Evan Morrison is in the plate now. Looking to drive home the runner standing on second. Anything in the gap, might even score 2. But he's down in an 0-2 count here. None away. Fouls this one back. 3 straight foul balls.
Evan Morrison last night went 2 for 5, and ended up coming around to score on that second hit.
Also drove in 2.
Did struggle in the field a little bit though. He had a couple errors last night, and one that bunt that I was telling you about earlier that really ended up navigating a really good inning for the Red Sox was a perfect throw right in his glove, and it just popped out and landed it, and that allowed Baker to reach.
Oh, then the crowd really wanted that one, as it was 4 pitches, 4 foul balls, and then a really close pitch on the outside corner. Not called a strike, though. So this at-bat continues. 1-2 count here for Johnson to Morrison. And he gets him swinging on that one. Another strikeout for Blake Johnson.
Blake Johnson with 5 strikeouts tonight already, having a great outing.
So now 1 out, 2 runners on for Aaron Volcano. 0 for 1. He struck out in the 2nd inning, his first plate appearance. As the slider out of Johnson popped way up. Underneath it is Matthew Fox, and he makes the grab in shallow left. Out number 2. And now Adam Volcano in, the designated hitter tonight for Medicine Hat.
We were talking about Johnson, his 5 strikeouts tonight, and in his previous outing had 6 strikeouts in 5 innings. So, as we talk about, really a strikeout pitcher. He got some good strikeout stuff.
Look over back at this runner, who's Tyler Vanesti over there at second, but he's back in there.
And that really can be valuable when you're in a spot like he was with 2 on, nobody out. Getting that strikeout can really change the whole vibe of an inning.
It really has in this case. Not that just that it can. In 2 pitches, he went from 0 outs to 2 outs, and now he's looking to strand the runners. '56th pitch of the ball game here for Blake Johnson. 0-1 count. Adam Volcano takes a pitch in there. Beautiful breaking ball out of the righty.
And when you give a guy like this, Johnson, who never had that that starting experience in the WCBL, you love to see these first 2 outings the way they've gone for him.
This one hit hard and into right field, but under it is Justin Simard. He'll make the play well in front of the warning track. And after 2 straight hits to lead off the inning, Medicine Hat unable to do anything with it as they strand both the runners on. And the score remains 2-0. We'll be right back here from Curry Field, the WCBL on Flow Sports.
What? I didn't even ask. Thank you. Three, two.
Bottom half of the 4th inning upcoming. Justin Simard will lead things off for Regina. It's early in the season, but both Regina and Medicine Hat are shaping up to be some of the top 2 teams in this East Division once again.
Yeah, and I think coming into the season, that's what we expected out of these guys. 2 really solid teams last year, like we said, expected to meet in the East Final, never ended up making it, but 2 really solid teams, both looking to take that crown off the Okotoks Dogs this year.
Justin Smart, first pitch swinging, fouls it off into the seats on the right side here at Curry Field. So the sun starts to dip a little bit lower this evening. The lights on just after 8 o'clock local time. A beautiful night here in the Queen City.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it has been turned out to be a beautiful night for baseball. Not too hot, not too cold. A little bit of a sweater weather kind of night, but overall really nice to have a night like this in early June.
And although slight, the wind pushing balls out to center field, so maybe a little bit extra carry out there. Another solid crowd here too, enjoying the ball game as they support the hometown Sox. Lots of expectations, not just out of the crowd, but out of the team as well. And still a few guys waiting in the wings, making their way to Regina for the season. Two-two count right now. Smart hits this one high, skied, shallow left center. Under it is Johnny Volcano. Makes the grab, out number 1. Mentioned players still coming because I thought they would already be here, but I look at the LSU Shreveport Pilots. 4 players coming from that team. Jackson Searing along with 3 pitchers making their way up to Regina, hopefully for the weekend, after finishing a 59-0 National Championship Series.
That's insane. 59-0, hey? That's, like, I don't care what level you're playing.
They won 58 games and then another game after that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right? I don't care what level you're playing in.
That's this one hard into center. Under it is Jeremy Freeman. Out number 2.
You can also say they won one and then won 58 more.
Yeah.
You know, it's just 59 is a crazy number. That's something you don't get to see often. So
Jackson Searing, a big part of that team as well. Big part of this Regina Red Sox team last year. Was a East Division All-Star. Sorry, a WCBL All-Star at the end of the season.
great season last year for Searing.
This one, the curveball doesn't get the grip on it. I think if that one wasn't at the head of Brady Bye, he might have taken it. But hoping for a different result at the end of this season, hoping to win the last game. Maybe win 2 championships this year for Jackson and some of his teammates. That one outside. That moves the count to 2-1.
Yeah, and for those guys, you know, you get a taste of that winning mentality, that championship feel. It doesn't just go away after that. You want more, whether that's in the WCBL or back in the NAIA for some of those guys.
Brady Bye swinging at this one. It's into left. It's in the gap. Running over it to his left is Yusei Uzawa, who makes the grab. Regina, although they've only hit one ball into play tonight, they lead 2-0. Top of the 5th inning coming up. We'll be right back as we near the halfway point here at Curry Field.
And fact number 3, we've got 1 home run so far this game. Which one of those is a lie? That is correct. Sliders from Fox Valley, Saskatchewan. Jackson got it right. You're going over the Regina Red Sox prize pack. Let's give it up for our friend Jackson.
Jada Babiak steps back in, the left-handed hitter, the catcher at a Valley City State University. 0 for 1 already tonight as he lays down almost a half bunt the play over to first as Sam Baker tries to be fancy with it.
Yeah, and that's the kind of plays that we saw last night sometimes. Those plays where you try to force something and it doesn't really work out. Luckily, this one didn't hurt the Red Sox, didn't let them advance on their base there, but you just got to be careful of limiting those as much as you can.
So for the second time tonight, the Mavericks get their leadoff runner on. Another pickoff attempt as the Mavericks do have 6 hits now. 5 hits, rather. As this one gets away from Kalura to the backstop, the pass ball advances the runner.
And the walks, and that, of course, that home run by Brady Bye, but the walks for the Red Sox and the plate discipline has really come into play at this game. They've really worked the at-bats, worked the pitcher, and that's the difference in this game because that walk and that home run are the only hit for the home run is for the Red Sox.
This one hit high and a little bit deeper out to right field, but it is foul. Evens the count at 1. Freeman is 1 for 1 tonight. He singled back in the 3rd inning, but second base was as far as he would get.
Yeah, getting to second base after that swipe there in the 3rd, but weren't able to bring him
While the
around.
Mavericks have 5 hits tonight, not including the runner over at second, they've left 4 runners on base. Great pitch there as the slider moves in there. Strike number 2 out of Blake Johnson.
And 5 hits, but 5 singles. No extra base hits yet this game, and those are something that hopefully you hope come with time in the game as you start to get into that bullpen.
This one hit hard to the second baseman. It's off the wrist of Sam Baker. Babiak took a look at round and third there as that one was hit hard, a tough play. I would expect that one to be a hit, but we'll get the official word here in just a moment. Yes, they are ruling it a hit as expected. Really tough play though for Baker over there at second.
That's a long run for Baker, and going off the heel of his glove there. He almost made the play, but and we saw Babiak.
So there goes Babiak to second. It's offline. Fox doing well to make sure he caught the ball to keep the runner at third. As now there's 2 runners in scoring position, no out here with Yusei Uwawa back at the plate.
As I was saying, Babiak took a hard turn around that base. He thought that ball was going to get into the outfield, and the third base coach did a good job at holding him. Otherwise, I think he would have been thrown out at the plate.
So it was a strike for the first pitch and also a strike for the second one.
Uzawa this year, 4 for 21 with making a 190 average, 5 RBIs though, so he has been known to drive guys in the first 6 games.
0-2 count, just misses the top of the zone. Good eye out of you, Uzawa. Moves the count to 1-2. Mavericks threatening here. Corner's playing about halfway. Great block out of Kalura. Ball number 2. I think the Red Sox will be fine. If anything up the middle is playable, they'll surrender the run, but anything hit right at first or third, they'll hope to keep Babiak over there at third. As Uzawa stays alive on the late breaking ball, fouls it off and out of play. Really got the hands through the zone there quickly to even make contact on that one.
Yeah, that's something I noticed about him last night and tonight is he's got really quick hands.
But goes down swinging there as Blake Johnson looks to get out of the jam here. Out number 1, a really good at-bat out of both hitter and pitcher.
And Johnson now makes his 6th strikeout tonight. Absolutely having a phenomenal outing here tonight, and that's what you want to see from a guy like this who's transitioning into that starting role.
Johnny Volcano, this one hit right at third. They get the runner out at third, and a double play out of Riley Bender. What great defensive prowess out of the third baseman at the hot corner. And Blake Johnson, thanks to the great defense, keeps a donut on the board. We cross halfway here at Curry Field. We'll be right back on Flow Sports. Stay with us.
All right, time to put the hoodie on.
Well, Jared, after it looked like the Medicine Hat Mavericks might break through on this scoreboard, Riley Bender made a quick stop to that one.
Yeah, that was an incredible awareness by Bender to recognize the runner at third coming back towards him, make the tag, and realize he has enough time to stop, make a good throw on the line to the first baseman.
Did Babiak step off a little too far off the base, though?
Yeah, I think so. I think you either have to know as a runner, if you're going to step that far off, you have to commit, and if you get thrown at the plate, you get thrown at the plate, but you can't let that double play happen like that.
Or was it just unlucky because the ball was hit right to Bender, who was standing right beside Babiak?
Yeah, and that could definitely be the idea too, right? And that's something that you have to recognize as a base runner that, like I say, maybe even though you give up the out at third base there, if you get tagged that early, you at least have to try and make them work for it, because going back and getting tagged out that early, I think, is what led to that double play.
So Matthew Fox will lead things off here as we cross the halfway mark here at Curry Field. It is 2-0 Red Sox. Thanks to the home run out of Brady Bye. First of the season for the Regina product.
First of the season for the Regina club.
Fox, he's in for his second plate appearance of the evening, 0 for 2 after a strikeout back in the second inning. And down in a 1-2 count here. Well, Stairs moves the count even to 2-2.
I opened the game talking about how important it was to limit the errors and make sound defensive plays for both teams, and how different the game would be from last night if that happened. And so far, we're looking at a very different game and a very errorless game to this point. So
Matthew Fox finds himself in a full count, 3-2 after going down. Worked his way back into it. This one's in the dirt, and Matthew Fox works a walk. Great at-bats out of the shortstop.
very well-earned walk there from Matthew Fox. He really saw that well, which is a good sign, because last night he wasn't, and in that first at-bat he wasn't really seeing that well either, but he really saw those pitches well, saw the strike zone well. That's a good sign for him going forward after a struggle last night.
Jordan Tucker, the number 9 hitter, in. Takes a first pitch strike. Now for Regina, that's the third time the leadoff runner has been on base tonight. 2 of those via the walk, 1 via hit by pitch. As we have a pickoff attempt over there to first. Fox in there standing.
So that's something we're noticing from Spurgeon, is giving a lot of these first batters the opportunity to get on base without making them like we say that's it's a well-earned walk, but at the same time you're not making them hit the ball, and hitting is much harder to do than take a walk, no matter how difficult the walk is.
As Tucker here is swinging the play ball volcano at second, gets Fox, but the throw by Roth is well offline. So Tucker reaches first on the fielder's choice.
Something that may not go as noticed by some fans that don't, I don't want to say don't know the game, but don't really pay attention to the background things, because when you're watching the game, you watch the ball, but that was the catcher who covered that throw. He was a great job following the runner, understanding that it's unlikely that that runner in any scenario from first is getting home, so he doesn't have to worry too much about covering.
This one gets away from the catcher, Babiak, and that allows Tucker to move up.
And following that runner is really the why he had the opportunity to, or why he didn't have the opportunity to move up a base on that pass, because otherwise he'd be at third now on that last pass ball.
Just the second time a Regina Red Sox has made it into scoring position. The last time it happened, they did not score, as Spurriel doesn't get the grip on another curveball. And it's well above the zone, 2-0 now.
Yeah, the last time was back in the third inning when they had runners at second and third with just 1 out. Couldn't do anything with it.
Big swing out of San Baker. No contact made. Still ahead in the count, though, 2-1. 1 away here. That's Jordan Tucker leading off of second. 73rd pitch of the ball game upcoming for Tyler Spurriel. There goes Baker. The throw over to third. Not in time. A stolen base out of Jordan Tucker.
It's good jump. Risky move to steal third base there.
Well,
but
when the bats aren't working, you got to find other ways to score.
And that's what I was going to say. When you recognize the pitcher, when you can read the pitcher and you can take that risk knowing you have to find ways to scratch the runs across, especially against a team like the Mavericks, it's super important that you make that play as long as you're sure you're going to make it.
And Sam Baker works a walk as now runners are on the corners. Still just one hit for Regina tonight. As we have a move to the mound here. We'll see if this is just a conversation or if the Mavericks are making a move. We are starting to see some movement over in foul territory down in left field. As somebody starts getting warmed up. This appears to just be a mound visit.
Yeah, they haven't really had anyone throwing yet, and no one really getting hot. So I believe this would just be as the umpire goes out to break it up, this would just be a conversation, trying to get him back in the zone there. As we speak of getting back in the zone, he has 5 walks and a hit by pitch tonight. And that really is the difference in the 2-0 game. And
because otherwise, pitching fairly well.
Pitching very well, actually. And if we look back, that home run never happens if he's able to get that batter without hitting him earlier in the game there. And we don't know if it happens in the next inning. So it could easily have been a 0-0 game.
Runners going, and they tried the pickoff attempt. Similar to what they did to rather Jackson earlier in the game. But this time it works out, and Baker is also in scoring position. 2 runners now on second and third.
So we saw the scenario earlier. We saw 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out earlier in the game, as we were just talking about. The only other time they've had runners in scoring position, they were unable to capitalize there. The Red Sox need to be capitalizing on these going forward because of how explosive this Mavericks offense can be, and I bet will be at least 1 inning in this game. They will.
Infield well in now, inside the infield grass. Rafael Jackson, first pitch, check swing was called a strike. Second pitch was in the dirt for a ball. As the Mavs look to try and keep this score 2-0. That one misses the outside corner, says Kevin Manzik.
And as we talk about this, the importance of getting these runs across, it's not like the Mavericks aren't threatening to score. They have runners in scoring position. They're putting runners in a place. They just haven't capitalized, and you can't bank on them not capitalizing all game long.
Jackson decides to swing there. It's popped foul and onto the beer shack.
Right onto that party deck over there, that Tap Brewhouse party deck, but the fan unable to make the catch. Needs to get a glove on that guy.
First, we're halfway through this ball game. We'll take a quick second to thank IKS Media and Flow Sports for their partnership with the Western Canadian Baseball League this season. Bringing you every ball game in the league this year. You can catch full games. They're posted on the YouTube channel. A few days after, Jackson fouls this one off again. And highlights and game previews and all of that on the Western Canadian Baseball League YouTube channel. 2-2 pitch upcoming. Jordan Tucker's leading off a third. Sam Baker's at second, 1 out. As Jackson has to make contact with that one to stay alive. Does. Third straight foul ball for the left-handed center fielder.
And I think that YouTube thing, that getting those games out there for free, expanding the league, and showing off some of the great talent that we have in this league is really important. It's really going to grow our league and gain more fans in each ballpark across the league.
This one in the dirt. Good block by Babiak, though, moves the count full. Although we'd rather you come hang out with us on a Wednesday night at the ballpark. Here on, whether you're watching live or watching live online on Flow Sports.
Yes, of course. We would prefer that. But now, as we're speaking of this, they watch a game on YouTube and they're like, this is good ball.
Jackson able to foul that one off.
You see a play like Riley Bender made there at third, and you're like, wow, I'd love to see that live. We'll go to the next game, and then you gain more fans, and it's all about exposing yourself to as much as possible, right?
Payoff pitch here out of Spuriel. Misses the zone. 3 walks in the inning, and the bases are loaded. Cincinnati Mavericks is Luis Diaz, right-handed pitcher out of Ottawa University.
Yeah, and as we look at Spuriel's end to his night, he does walk 5 in 4.1 innings. Of course, still responsible for all 3 runners on base, and has 2 earned runs to this point.
This Diaz's 3rd appearance of the season. First batter swinging Jaden Cholera. And the throw over. Diaz only needs 1 pitch to get the first out, but 1 comes across the score. So Diaz gives up a run. That one charged, however, to Spuriel. Again, this is Diaz's 2nd appearance. He's pitched 6 innings, an ERA of 6, 4 strikeouts and 11 hits. This one hit hard and past the diving shortstop Volcano. Across to score are both Baker and Jackson, and now the Red Sox lead 5-0.
And that's what we're talking about. What we really want to see the Red Sox be able to capitalize in these situations going forward, because you want to be able to build as much of a cushion, as much of a gap as you want against any team, but especially these Mavericks.
So 2 RBI single by James Wright after the ground out RBI. Brings Justin Samar to the plate, and the Red Sox lead has swelled now to 5. This one popped high, and in the infield under it is Morrison, who makes the grab. And after loading the bases, the Red Sox able to do something with it, drive in a couple of runs. They now lead 5-0. We'll be right back on Home Team Live as Medicine Hat looks to get off the schneid. I can wrap up the line here.
Yep.
So I'm down on the ground with Caden, and Caden, we're going to play a game called Name That Tune. So our DJ up there is going to play 5 seconds of a song, and you got to tell me what song it is. Are you ready?
Yeah,
All right,
it
DJ,
is.
let's hear it.
It's 24.
Fort.
All right, Caden, what is that song?
It's my favorite song, Drop It Like It's Hot by Snoop Dogg.
He got it right on the money. Let's give it up for Caden, and it's his favorite song. He also got his first home run last night playing a ball game. Let's give him a big round of applause. He can go home with a Red Sox prize bag.
The top of the sixth is brought to you by Angela Muslim, the carrier Red Sox. Got a crew of 25 there's $25 each, and it's crew vouchers. Sit together. Email Lucia at Regina.redsox.ca. New picture in the game for Regina Red Sox. Now on the mound from Alberta, Texas, left-handed pitcher number 24, Tyler Fortin. Education brought to you by Mr. Blue on the Year for a Change.
Back inside Curry Field, top half of the 6th inning. Ryan Pathakos has sent out a new arm onto the mound. It's the lefty Tyler Fortin taking over for Blake Johnson.
Yeah, and as we close the book on both these pitchers, I'm going to take a second to go back to Spurriel. Finished officially with 4.1 innings pitched, 3 Ks, 5 walks, 1 hit by pitch, 1 hit given up, 5 runs, all of them earned.
As for Blake Johnson, he pitched 5 innings, faced 20 batters tonight on 69 pitches, gave up 0 runs, struck out 6, gave up 6 hits though, no walks, so really solid outing for the righty. And now both teams go from a righty, for Regina from a righty to the lefty, for Medicine Hat a lefty to the righty. It's Tyler Fortin back on the mound tonight. First one's over the head of Tyler Van Est. And to the backstop.
Yeah, and really trying to change those angles. You see these pitching staffs really trying to, or these managers trying to change the angles that the hitters are seeing from their pitching staffs, respectively.
That one also high and in for Tyler Fortin. Second appearance out of the bullpen this year. Just the 1 inning pitched back on May 29th against Swift Current. It was a blowout game, and he did give up a run. Meaning the ERA is a little inflated at 9. He walked a batter, gave up 2 hits.
Yeah, and that's when we talk about early season numbers. It's like he does have a high ERA at 9, but it's also only means he's given up 1 run. He's only pitched in 1 inning, so the numbers
gives up a 4-pitch walk to start the inning tonight, though.
Yes, he does. Do you notice he gets really low in his knees are almost on the ground as he strides towards the plate? It's a little unorthodox. I don't know if I've ever seen someone get that low on their stride.
Gets a called strike in there to Carter Roth. Roth 1 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and a single in his last plate appearance back in the 4th. Fortin, his 2nd season with Regina. This one fouled off. He's out of Southwestern Oklahoma University. He's a senior there. in Burke Bennett, Texas.
And last year, Tyler Fortin had a 5-1 record with a 3.66 ERA. Played in 18 or pitched in 18 games. Didn't start any. Had 7 saves in 27 innings pitched, 33 strikeouts and only 15 walks.
As this one fouled off by Roth, stays alive. Counts 0-2.
So you do see he does really have that strikeout stuff here, and he can get batters to swing and miss often, so he can get out of trouble.
This one hit hard up the middle. That's a base hit for Carter Ross, second of the ball game, but they'll play station to station as Mess holds up at second. 2 runners on with no outs against the left-handed pitcher now. But a left-handed batter coming to the plate in Evan Morrison.
Carter Roth really having a strong start to the year, really, but especially on this road trip, he has been absolutely electric the last 2 nights, even in that losing effort yesterday.
Morrison shows bunt, follows through with it, back to the pitcher Fortin, who throws it, and it's offline. That'll be a throwing error on the pitcher Fortin as the base is now loaded.
And that is I believe our first error of the night. First error of the night is Evan Morrison as Aaron Volcano comes up. Evan Morrison just finished his at-bat. At this moment, Aaron Volcano would love to replicate his at-bat in the 3rd inning of last night's game. Pardon me, I think the 4th inning of last night's game, where he took it over the left field wall.
So this one is hit into right field, but not deep enough to score Vaness. And so while the bases are loaded, the Red Sox catch a break.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but behind the plate there, as Fortin was coming back to cover, the on-deck batter, I guess the guy going up now, Adam Vulcano, started to run towards to grab that bat, and they almost collided. We're able to have a near miss, but it was close.
If you're wondering about the scoring play at first for Morrison, a sack bunt, throwing error charged to Fortin. Adam Volcano at the plate now, 0 for 2 tonight, strikeout and a flyout. Down 0-1 here with 1 away. Bases loaded as that one's fouled back over our head in the booth.
Around the league here, Saskatoon Berries look to be a really good team again this year in their 2nd year, beating Fort McMurray 13-0. The Energy City Cactus Rats?
Correct.
Beating the Brooks Bombers 3-1. Moose Jaw. Yeah. Moose Jaw and Weyburn 3-3. Lethbridge and Swift 2-2. Okotoks and Sylvan Lake 5-3. Of course, here in Regina, we're up 5-0. The Red Sox have a lead over the Medicine Mavericks.
Volcano calls time. We'll reset. 0-2 count. 1 away. Finesti leads off the 3rd. Roth off the 2nd. Morrison off of 1st, and Fortin gets Volcano swinging. Out number 2.
That's that strikeout stuff we were talking about before, Forsen, before. This is what you want to see out of a reliever. If he gets into spots like this, or if you bring him in spots like this, he's able to maneuver the situation and get through it, hopefully clean, but fairly unharmed if he can get one more out here.
Worked himself into the jam, now trying to work himself out of it. First pitching is Jaden Babiak, who makes his way back to the plate. 3rd plate appearance tonight.
Babiak, 375 on the season, 1 for 2 in the ball game tonight.
As Fortin steps off, and looks like maybe him and Kalura got a little crossed up, so they'll have a quick conversation.
Yeah. In a situation like this, you have to make sure you're on the same page as your catcher. One wrong mistake can lead to a pass ball leading to a run, or a pitch that we're in a location it's not supposed to be that leads to a home run or a hit at the very least. It's very important in a bases loaded 2-out situation. You want to be in sync with your catcher, especially when you have a 5-run lead, but on such an explosive team like this.
Yes, it is a 5-0 Regina lead, but it feels like this thing could be tied with one swing of the bat. As Babiak fouls that one off. Babiak.
Well, not quite tied.
Well, it feels like it could be.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Saying
Yeah, I got you. It feels closer than 5-0 is
Yes.
what you're saying. I got you.
Babiak does not have a home run. He's also not driven in a run this season. That one just misses the outside black. Kevin Manzik calls it a ball, so this at-bat will continue, moves the count to 1-2.
We hear some oohs and ahs from the Regina crowd, thinking that one was
pretty outside. The bias strike zone at some of the fans here calling it a ball. That one also outside. Babiak able to lay off the slurve on that one.
Well, deuces are wild here. Bases are loaded.
It is a 2-2 count. 2 outs here. Top of the 6th inning. Tyler Fortin. This one's hit hard right at the second baseman, but it gets past him diving. That'll bring 2 across the score. Play at the plate is not in time. And the Mavericks draw a little closer tonight on the 2-run RBI single out of Jada Babiak.
That was a nice piece of hitting there from Babiak. He had 2 strikes on him, choked up on the bat, and made sure he got it in play. Good things happen when the ball goes in play, and we saw that there. Just out of the reach of the second baseman, Baker, and 2 RBI single.
So for Babiak, the first 2 RBIs he's driven in this season makes the score 5-2. Jeremy Freeman Jr. in.
And we've talked a couple times tonight about how Freeman Jr. is so good at turning this lineup over and getting it to the top guys in this order, like you say, Uzawa and Johnny Volcano. And doing that here would not only bring them closer in the game, but having runners in scoring position for that top of the order, which is crucial if you want to put up a big inning.
Fortin, long look over there. Then throws the changeup in there on Freeman to get ahead in the count, 1-2. As there goes the runner at second. No play there, though, as Babiak has another stolen base tonight.
A little bit of a pump fake there from Clara. See if he could get the runner at third. Morrison leaning after that pump fake, but nothing doing.
This one fouled off by Freeman.
So now, if you're on the mound here and you're in a similar situation which you were just in, the only difference is the bases are not loaded. You have a 2-2 count with 2 outs.
This one hit hard up the middle. No one's going to get that one as it's into the gap. 2 will come across to score. And they'll hold Freeman up at first, and now it's just a 1-run ball game.
And this is what we've talked about all night. You can't expect all night to keep this team, when they're threatening and threatening and threatening, off the scoreboard. That's why those 3 runs in that last inning are so crucial, because even though you've given up 4 here if you're the Red Sox, a 4-2 game still feels a lot different on a 4-run inning than a 5-4 game, right? You're still in the lead. You still got 2 outs in this thing. You can get out of it with the lead, and hopefully your bats can get back to work.
Uzawa back up. First pitch swinging is the leadoff hitter and left fielder. 8th Medicine Hat Maverick to come to the plate this inning. Fouled off. Fortin ahead 0-2 now. Just needs to kind of finish the at-bat and put a batter away.
Yeah, and that's what seems to be where he's struggling right now, is just on those finishing pitches. Couple ground balls to the right side, or hard ground balls, so nothing to take away there from the infielders or the hitters.
And Manzik calls out Uzawa on a beautiful slurve out of Tyler Fortin. He gets out of it. Red Sox still lead. But the score very different than it was when the inning started. Mavericks bring 4 across, draw within 1. And Regina back to the plate here. Bottom of the 6th upcoming on Flow Sports.
And stay tuned for all the WCBL highlights. Be sure to check out the WCBL YouTube channel. That's WCBL on YouTube.
From McDavid. 2.5 left.
Six, seven, 8 batters coming up for Regina here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Only up 1 run now after a big top half out of Medicine Hat.
Yeah, and we want to see, if you're the Red Sox, you want to see good at-bats.
This one grounded softly to the first baseman, Morrison, who picks it up on a few hops and plays it over to Luis Diaz covering, out number 1.
As I was saying, you want to see good at-bats, and you want to see them really push the pitcher, make them work to get out of this inning. Maybe you get a new arm out there in the next inning, or maybe he gets more fatigue through this inning, and you can really scratch across a couple insurance runs here.
Brings Brady by to the plate. And until the last inning for Regina, Brady had the only hit of the ball game for the Red Sox. It was a big one, a home run back in the 2nd inning, which scored the first 2 runs of the ball game.
And for a long time, it looked like the scoring might stay there until last inning for the Red Sox, where they're finally able to get it rolling a little bit. And then, of course, the top half of this inning.
So ahead of the count there, 2-0 pitch is called a strike, as it appeared Brady was kind of taken all the way. It's Diaz with a very nice curveball of his own in there, strike number 2 at the top of the zone.
And now, if you're the Red Sox bench and Brady by, you want to be choking up here, shortening up, making sure you get a ball in play.
And as Diaz finds the outside, Black strikes out Brady by, looking already. Sorry, that was Diaz's first strikeout tonight, I believe.
And Diaz is rolling through this bottom half of this inning here. He quick at bat, and then another quick strikeout.
That one catches the other outside corner. Does Diaz, and it almost feels like since Diaz has come into the ball game, very different look. As Fox hits this one hard and into center, but under it is Jeremy Freeman Jr. Very quick 1-2-3 inning for Regina, and the lead remains 5-4. Medicine Hat coming up top of the 7th. on Flow Sports.
This might be a standing in.
Thanks, Elliot. Time to go with Caden and Tanner. They're going to do a good old-fashioned potato sack race. Slider is going to be the finish line. He's running out right now.
Fucking Braves.
So, boys, you got to step into the sacks.
That was aggressive.
You're going to do your best job to hop all the way down the slider. First one to get there is the winner. On my mark, get set, go! Caden is really taking the lead. Oh, and Tanner did a combo. That's okay. You know, it was such a great effort for both of them. They're both winners tonight, and they're going home with the Regina Red Sox prize pack. So let's give them a big round of applause.
Tonight's 7-inning stretch for run is brought to you by Mavericks, official supplier of ice water to the Red Sox. Shortstop number 11.
Top of the 7th inning here at Curry Field as we kind of round out the middle third of this ball game. Medicine Hat brings the 2-3-4 hitters to the plate this inning as Tyler Fortin looks to kind of rebound after a really tough 6th.
Yeah, and something we saw a lot of there from him was a little bit right to center of the zone or not in the zone, and it was a lot of trying to find himself and figure out where he wants to go with it. And of course the error by him as well doesn't help his inning either.
So he is out for his 2nd inning of work as he's thrown 3 straight balls to start here. We do have some movement over there in the Regina bullpen. Looks like a righty warming up. Nothing on the left side for Medicine Hat. As Fortin throws a nice pitch in there. Strike number 1. 3-1 to count now.
And after the way the last inning it went for the Mavericks there,
Big swing out of Johnny Volcano.
if you're the manager and you're obviously not seeing any signs of fatigue, you talk to Diaz as he comes off the mound and you say, hey, you want to go back out there? Do you want another one? And knowing him and his body.
And after 3 straight balls, it's 3 straight strikes and a strikeout of Johnny Volcano for Tyler Fortin. And that out-bat started rough.
Yeah. Yeah, as I was saying, with Diaz, you talk to him and you see, hey, like, how are you feeling? Can you go out there? Can you spare a little bit of extra stress on your arm to help some of our other arms? And I'm sure the rest of his pitching staff will admire that and appreciate that from him.
Brings Tyler Vaness back to the plate. 4th plate appearance, 2 for 2 tonight. 2 singles and a walk. Came around to score Medicine Hat's first run of the ball game, leading off the last inning. Big swing. This one's high and deep to right, but foul. Chasing after it was Samard, but it falls in the Red Sox bullpen.
Let's look at Tyler Vaness here. The Red Sox are yet to get him out today. Started off with 2 singles and then walked, as you said, the last time up there. And this is a guy that really can get a rally started and has gotten a rally started multiple times for this team.
This one is going to be another hit for Vaness, the 3rd baseman. 3 singles tonight. This is a really solid hit out of the 2-hole hitter.
Another really nice stroke there from Vaness. He just pokes it out, gets some grass underneath that ball, and gets the next hitter up. That's what you want to do when you were down 5-0. That's what you want to do throughout the ball game, because not every swing's going to go over the wall. But as long as you can put the ball in the outfield, find some grass, you're bound to have a good inning if you can continue to do that, which Mavericks aren't last inning.
That pitch in there out of Tyler Fortin's. Carter Roth back in. He is 2 for 3. He also has 2 singles. Did strike out in his first plate appearance back in the first inning. 2 singles since.
Coming around to score on that most recent one in the last inning there.
Another look over there from Fortin. Finessed back easily, standing up. The wind has nearly died here at Curry Field as those flags out there in right center are drooped. No movement.
As I'm looking at Finesse over there, there's been 2 pickoff attempts, but he's not taking it very aggressively, and he's got in standing both times. So
1-2 count for Tyler Fortin. 3rd pickoff attempt of the at-bat.
And again, just like I said, like not a very aggressive lead, and he doesn't look like he's getting ready to take a bag.
That one just misses. Evens the count at 2 for Carter Roth.
And even on that pitch there, his first movement there from Finesse was back to the bag. Like, Finesse is not.
That one in there. Carter Roth goes down looking. 3rd strikeout of the night for Tyler Fortin. It's a great little off-speed pitch at the bottom of the zone. Lefty Evan Morrison back in. Did reach his last plate appearance in the 6th, as he gave himself up on a bunt, but reached due to a fielding error out of Fortin. Count even 1-1 through 2 pitches of the at-bat. Morrison, another one of those returning players to Medicine Hat from last season's team. This one's fouled off the inside foot.
A lot of swing and miss from this Regina pitching staff tonight. As we mentioned, Johnson earlier, 6 strikeouts. Fortin just got his 4th there, so that's 10 strikeouts against a team who's known to hit the ball well. And you've only allowed them to score in 1 of the innings. Great pitching.
1-2 pitch, well high. Bigger sample size for Evan Morrison was last year. He played 30 games last year, just 6 this year. But the average over 200 points better was 174 last year, 379 coming into tonight. But he goes down swinging here. So despite the hit, Fortin has 3 strikeouts in the inning and keeps the lead at 1 for Regina. We'll stretch here at Curry Field and be back in just a moment as this one continues here on Flow Sports.
5 strikeouts in 2 innings at work is.
It was ugly though. Ugly. Oh boy.
I was gonna say, how about that Game 7 against the Blues? I mean, that was incredible. the most ridiculous things I've seen live in my life. Yeah, that was.
Jordan Tucker leads things off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Luis Diaz out for his 3rd inning of work. He's only needed 15 pitches to this point. First pitch ball, though, to the right-handed left fielder Tucker, as this one goes to the backstop as well.
Tucker in his first plate appearance, walked and got around to 3rd, but didn't get any further. And then in his last one, hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice and stole 3rd, ending up coming around to score in that 3-run inning in the 5th there.
Took a decent hack at the slider there out of Diaz to no avail. That evens the count at 2. 5-4 ball game. This one's hit hard by Tucker into left field. That's a base hit. And the leadoff runner is on for Regina.
Great piece of hitting there from Tucker. Saw the ball well. Took a good swing, a hard swing, and a good line drive into left field.
It's probably one of the better swings we've seen out of Jordan Tucker early this season.
Yeah, definitely was.
As now Baker will lay down a bunt, but it rolls foul. So we start to see a little bit of small ball played here out of Ripathaco Centene.
And he has, Baker that is, has bunted quite a few times the last couple of nights. He has good speed, so he can definitely turn, even if it is a sac bunt, into a base hit bunt because of that great speed going down the first base line.
Luis Diaz with a look over there at first, and they got him on the pickoff attempt. And I telegraphed that one.
Yeah, that one, it was a good move, but it was just Tucker got a little too far off the base and got caught leaning, and it was a good play.
Great pickoff move, though, out of Diaz. This one at the backstop and caught behind the plate by Jaden Babiak on the pop out at the screen.
Absolutely great defensive play there to track that, stick with that, understand that it is a net and not a fence backstop. You can take that and go up against it, get the ball, and it's not going to hurt you that much.
So after the leadoff single by Jordan Tucker, 2 straight pitches result in outs for Regina, and any sort of rally they were trying to create here in the 7th now quickly over, as Raphael Jackson with the soft grounder over to the first baseman Morrison, and it's ends up being a 1-2-3 inning here, and the score remains 5-4 as we head to the 8th inning here at Hurry Field.
I don't know if you're a big MLB fan, but goddamn, these Braves are pissing me off this year. Just, they don't score.
Isn't everybody hurt?
No, everyone's back now. Six innings, 3 hits, 1 run earned, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts for Chris Sale tonight, and they're down 2-0. Like, god damn. But bases loaded, so single can score 2. Tie the game up.
After we just saw Luis Diaz pitch almost 3 innings, he came in midway through 1. Tyler Fortin back out for his 3rd inning of work now for Regina. It's been a little bit more of a shaky outing, although, man, he really finished strong with a couple strikeouts that last.
Yeah, he's really settled in that last inning. He was able to get kind of more control over it. Gave up a single, but other than that, had 3 strikeouts on the other 3 batters.
That one a little low. Counts 1-1 to that's Aaron Volcano. Adam Volcano on deck. Too many. When do we start calling them the Hawaiian Islands with so many volcanoes on this thing?
That's what when Aaron hit his homer last night. It was a shot to left field, and I had to, of course, make a joke about it being a volcanic blast.
It's a layup there.
It is. I can't let that one go.
Oh.
That'd be like taking a 3-1 pitch right down the middle. Like you got to swing, right?
Counts 2-2 out of Tyler Fortin here, as he looks to move this one to the bottom of the 8th. Still holding a lead. Kind of falls off the mound there. The command just starting to get away from the lefty.
Yeah, and it started kind of, like we said earlier, he started with some troubles with the command, and then
this one hit high and hard into left field. Looking up is Jordan Tucker. He's going to let it go, and it's a home run for Aaron Volcano. This game is tied.
That was absolutely smoked by Aaron Volcano. Home run in back-to-back games now, as the Mavericks pay a little tribute to that Volcano name, yelling big. That was a massive shot, yelling boom down in there in the dugout as he came back in.
So now Adam Volcano's in. And if you remember back to when Tyler Fortin entered this ball game at the beginning of the 6th inning, it was 5-0 Regina. Since then, Medicine Hat 5 unanswered runs, and after it was all Regina, all Red Sox for the first half, the Mavs have really taken over here in the second.
Yeah, and it's the feel in the ballpark has kind of shifted from a team up 5-0. Looking to put the first 2 losses to an undefeated team before they came into the city. Now it's tied again, and there's just a different feeling in the ballpark right now. And Red Sox really got to look to regain control and get this under control right now before they let it get too far away from them.
A big momentum shift so far in this game as Adam Volcano grounds this one to Matthew Fox, but it goes right underneath him and through the wickets. And he is on. We'll get the official score here in a second. They are going to call it an error charge to Matthew Fox. And we've come to get used to the defensive play over there at shortstop out of Matthew Fox, but there just lets it get away.
Yeah, and Matthew Fox has been a guy that has typically done a very good job at making sure he's sure-handed and making the plays he needs to make, but on that one, just couldn't get it done.
So that'll spell the night for Tyler Fortin, who blows the save opportunity. Was up 5-0 when he comes into play. Leaves this ball game, still responsible for the runner at first. We'll introduce you to the new pitcher here in just a moment here on Flow Sports. Take a short break. Okay. Hit Page. 40. You got 4-0? Yep, that's what I got too.
He came in at the beginning of the inning, right? Yeah. Are they all earned?
I don't know yet. We don't know yet. Back here after the pitching change for Regina, Aiden Page, the right-handed pitcher, in for the ball game. Hoping to kind of change the momentum here. Comes in with a runner on first base. Babiak shows bunt. Goes to the right side of the infield. Page will pick it up. The sack bunt successful. Moves the runner over to second.
Now batting center fielder number 12, Jeremy Freeman Jr.
As we close the book on Tyler Fortin here, the line ends with him getting 2+ innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, only 1 earned because the error in that inning came with 2 outs. So all that after there is unearned. 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and 14 batters faced.
No, I got them all earned for Fortin right now, and he is responsible for the runner at second as well.
He is responsible for the runner at second, yeah. I'm getting this right from Point Streak here, which they could be mistaken. I honestly didn't look that up, but I didn't verify that myself, but that's just where I grabbed it from. But
this one in the dirt out of Aiden Page. For Page, second season in Regina. Already his 3rd appearance for the Red Sox this season. 4 2/3 innings pitched. An ERA of 5.7 right now. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 hits against. Opponents batting just 176 off of him though. As he gets Freeman swinging at the slider well outside. Out number 2. As we got a pinch hitter here for Medicine Hat. Have to find the player on my roster. It's Micah Dvorak.
And Dvorak played in the game last night. He went 0 for 4 last night with 1 strikeout, grounded into 1 double play. Of course, that double play won't come into play here with 2 out, but.
Two straight balls to Dvorak. Dvorak, also his 2nd season here in Medicine Hat. Last year was 47 for 150, an average of 313. As Page throws a strike in there, moves the count to 2-1.
They have him listed here at 6'1", 145 is what I'm reading.
It's pretty good size for the Tabor College junior. Out of Garden City, Kansas. 2-1 pitch, 2 outs for Aiden Page to Micah Dvorak. Great pitch in there, strike number 2 on the slider. And that slider has been cooking for Aiden Page already this season.
Yeah, and if you're Aiden Page here and you can help your buddy out, get out of this inning without giving up that extra run that's out there.
Dvorak makes contact here. It's to Baker over there at second, who throws it over to James Wright, makes the catch. Medicine Hat leaves a run on, but the home run, the leadoff hitter, Aaron Volcano, ties things up as we head to the bottom of the ninth. Now Regina hoping to regain the lead here on Flow Sports. We'll be right back. Bottom half of the eighth inning will be led off by Jaden Kalura. He is 0 for 3 tonight out of the catcher's spot. Batting third this evening. Luis Diaz back out again after throwing just 22 pitches so far in 3 innings pitched. Pitching very well is Diaz. 2 2/3 innings at this point. Faced 9 batters. Gave up a hit to the second batter he faced, and then another hit in the last inning, but no runs have come across. And he's in a 2-1 count here to Glura. This one fouled off, evens the count at 2. Now what does Regina have to do to make sure that they don't almost try too hard to score, because the way that they've been playing at the plate has actually been what's been bringing them success.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember that one swing of the bat can tie it up, but one swing of the bat doesn't have to tie it up, right? You make good contact on a ball, you can let it go if it goes, as Clara strikes out there.
So the leadoff batter goes down swinging. James Wright back now up to the plate.
And as I was saying, if that ball goes, great, but you have to remember you have 8 guys in this lineup with you. You have guys that you should be trusting in and you could believe in to make the hits to bring you around if you get on base. So the most important part is getting people in score position, and being able to capitalize on those spots.
First pitch of the at-bat, low and away as we take one last look at our out-of-town scoreboard maybe for the evening. Saskatoon up 13-5 over Fort McMurray, bottom of the 6th there. Lethbridge and Swift Current the final, 3-2 for the Bulls. Sylvan Lake leads, or down rather, to Okotoks 6-4. Bottom of the 7th there in Sylvan Lake. Top of the 8th inning in Weyburn, where the Miller Express lead the Beavers 5-3. And the Brooks Bombers have since taken the lead from Energy City, 5-3 Bombers there. As Wright grounds this one over to Evan Morrison, and he takes it to the bag himself, out number 2.
All right, so this is the point in the game. 2 outs, tie ball game, late in the game. You might have a guy looking to press the issue and try and hit it over the light bulbs, but like I said earlier, you can get on base and you can rely on your guys behind you. That is the best way to do it. if you can get into one and you get a good shot, that's great. But if you press too hard and you're gonna miss the ball, you're not gonna keep your eye on the ball as well as you want to, and at this level, that's just not gonna work.
So despite Jordan Tucker reaching on a hit in the 7th inning, he was then picked off. So the last 9 Regina Red Sox have been retired since Luis Diaz has come into the ballgame.
Diaz having a great outing tonight after coming into this game with a 6 ERA through 6 innings pitched and 4 strikeouts. He has gotten half that total in those 3 innings.
1-2 count, and down goes Justin Simard on the foul tip. 1-2-3 go the Red Sox here in the 8th. 9th upcoming here at Curry Field as the end in this one draws near. 5-5 score on Flow Sports. We'll be right back.
Get your 50-50 tickets out for tonight's draw. The jackpot for tonight's game is $430. I hope you have your tickets handy because here is the winning number. SXC 301338. One more time, that's SXC 301338. If you have a winning ticket, please visit the ticket shack before the end of the game to claim your $430.
Just come with like extra inning cards. That's kind of sweet.
I don't know, haven't needed to use one yet though.
And kids, be sure to stick around after the game to run the bases with Slider.
My app calculates runs and earn runs by itself.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Is that just app off the App Store, or where'd you get it? Yeah.
Entering the top half of the 9th inning here, and we're through 8 full. And while it's taken a long time to get here, we're right where we started with a tie ball game heading into the last inning of regulation here. Medicine Hat brings the 2-3-4 hitters to the plate. Johnny Valcano leads things off. Tyler Van Nest bats second, followed by Carter Roth, the do-up.
If you're on the mound here in your page, you're really just looking to hold this game down here. You don't want to make you guys have to chase the Mavericks, especially with the way Diaz has been pitching. If he comes back out for another, you don't want that. You want to be able to keep this as it is and hope they can get to Diaz in the next inning or whoever comes out for the Mavericks. And if not, worst case scenario, you go to extras.
Great slider out of Aiden Page on the 1-1 count as Volcano swinging. Goes for the fastball away, misses the zone, goes to the backstop. Evens the count at 2. Yeah, you're right, you want to give your team the chance to just get a guy or two on base to win it instead of tie it. That one in there. Volcano goes down swinging. Beautiful at-bat out of the right-handed pitcher, Aiden Page.
Yeah, and as we talked about in the last inning, you don't want your offense pressing it, and being down in the 9th can cause baseball players to press it and want to be the hero, and a lot of times it's not what you want.
Aiden Page now through 1 full inning of work. He came in with 1 out in the 8th. He has 2 strikeouts. Pitching very well. That one just misses the outside. Black moves the count to 2-0 for Tyler Van Nest. Finesse tonight, 3 for 3, 3 singles and a walk. This one hit hard and into center. Chasing after it is Jackson. Unable to make the grab as he plays it on a hop, and the outless night for Tyler Finesse continues.
Yeah, Finesse having an absolutely great game tonight. 4 for 4 with a walk. He's only come around to score when walked. So, I mean, in a way that's good. You're able, even though you're getting them on, you're not allowing them to cross the plate a whole lot. But at the same time, the more traffic on the base, the more stress on the pitchers.
This one a bloop into center field. That's going to drop in front of Jackson again. They'll play station to station as now there's 2 runners on, and Finesse moves into scoring position on the base hit out of Carter Roth. Evan Morrison now in 0 for 3 tonight. Reached on a sac bunt error charge to Tyler Fortin in the 6th. This one gets away from Kalura. And now there's 2 runners in scoring position after the wild pitch.
And what is so crucial about that wild pitch is that takes away your options for the double play, and the infield's got to be in now to cut down that runner at home plate if you want to keep this game tied. So many more things can go wrong.
And we will see the intentional walk.
And the reason you do that is to bring that double play back in, because you want to be able to get that ground ball and let your infielders take over and make a good play.
There it is. Bases loaded now for Aaron Volcano, who hit a moonshot home run to left field in the last inning, which tied this ball game.
On an absolute heater right now is Aaron Volcano. 2 home runs in the last 2 games, his first 2 of the season, and just seeing the ball at Curry Field real well.
Page was with a really nice pitch to start this at-bat. Called a strike out of Kevin Manzik. This one grounded to the third baseman. They'll go the short way to home, over to first, and it is not in time, but they do get the out to keep the run from scoring. Bases remain loaded on the fielder's choice.
So we see that play, and we see that the bases are still loaded, but now you're 2 outs. Any bag works here, and that's what's so crucial. Getting that out of home, you're able to cut that run down. Great play out there by Bender at third base to recognize the situation and make a play to keep this game tied.
So they do get the second out of the inning. A very different situation now, as you're just 1 pitch away from getting out of it. Called strike on the first pitch of the at-bat to Adam Volcano. 0-1 count here with 2 away. Page the pitch, gets him swinging. Strike number 2. Another great breaking ball out of Aiden Page.
2 absolutely gorgeous pitches in this at-bat, Page. He can settle down now. He's got the at-bat. He can trust his catcher to make plays. You want to keep it out of the dirt if you can, because you don't want a pass ball or a wild pitch to be the reason.
Page looking to get out of the jam, and Volcano stays alive. Fouls that towards the Mavericks bullpen to our left. On deck is Jaden Babiak, should he get a chance. Red Sox faithful trying to will their pitcher through this inning. Page looking to get out of the jam. Payoff pitch.
Yes!
Gets Volcano swinging. Leaves the bases loaded, and now Regina has a chance to win this ball game in the 9th inning. 5-5 ball game after the Mavericks were pressing. We'll be back. Bottom half of the 9th upcoming on FloCollege Baseball. I can't believe Medicine Hat didn't score there.
Red Sox fans, it's crunch time. Let's make some noise for your boys in red.
Red Sox looking to flip the script here in the 9th. They have not scored since the 5th inning when it looked like they were well in control of this ball game, but since it's been all Medicine Hat.
Yeah, and that's something we have to consider here when we look at how this game is going to play out and what's going to happen here, not only in this inning, but should there be innings going forward, that the Medicine Hat has the momentum, and Red Sox right now just have to try and find a way to flip the switch. Even if they can't get across here, just a press can be huge in going into the next few innings if there's extra innings, because it shows that you're not giving up, you're not letting your fight down. And Page started that with an absolutely incredible way of getting out of that jam. Three great pitches to end that last at bat.
And one way to get it going is a great leadoff at bat, as we see here from Riley Bender. 3 straight balls out of Luis Diaz. And Bender kind of lets that one go. Moves the count to 3-1. Bender is 0 for 3 tonight. Strikeout, flyout, groundout. Oh, and he thought he worked the walk there, but the curveball found its way to catch the inside part of the plate, and Kevin Manzik calls it a strike to move the count full. Payoff pitch here. Bender makes contact, goes right back to Diaz, and he underhands it over to Morrison. Out number 1 here in the 9th.
And how different you feel from thinking you have that walk to grounding out to the pitcher. You're in a 3-1 count. You're in a 3-0 count. You let one go by. You see if you can just work the 4-pitch walk. You can't. Then you think you get the walk and you get called back in. Now you have to reset your mind. Pitch that's borderline. You can't strike out looking, so you have to take the swing. And you ground out to the pitcher. Now instead of 1 on, nobody out, there's nobody on and 1 out. It's a big difference, especially when you've struggled to score the last 3 innings.
And that brings the bat of Brady Bye to the plate. Diaz throws a curveball in there, strike 1. Count even at 1 with 1 away. Brady Bye already with a big swing of the bat today, and with a home run back in the 2nd, a 2-run shot. That one lined hard into the crowd, foul. Looks like everybody is okay down there, down the left field line.
It looks like it just caught that last bleacher before the party deck there, and keeping everyone safe is always a priority here.
Brady Bye dribbles this one back to Diaz. The bobble, and it's still in time as the pitcher is able to make the out at first. Good composure there out of Diaz.
Yeah. You see oftentimes fielders, especially pitchers aren't often expected to field their position, and when they are, if they bobble it, you can see them rush themselves. But Diaz stayed composed, made a super hard throw, knowing the speed of the runner down the first base line, able to get by at first base with a good play.
Matthew Fox in now with 2 away here in the bottom of the 9th. It's been somewhat of an off night for Matthew Fox, but one swing of the bat can change all of that. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a walk and a fly out. Down 0-2, stays alive here as he fouls this one to the screen.
Yeah, and Fox last night, coming off a struggling night last night. And again here tonight, and hopefully, he's just hoping to get the ball in play, and good things happen when the ball's in play. So
that one in the dirt. Fox goes around, and Babiak completes the strikeout. As the Red Sox go down 1-2-3, we'll head to extra innings. Free baseball here at Curry Field. We'll be back in just a moment on Flow Sports. First game with extra innings for the Regina Red Sox this season. In just the third home game here at Curry Field. Some free baseball for fans who decide to stick around tonight.
yeah, and I'm sure you're always nice sitting with me for a little extra longer. You're fine with that, right?
I'll survive. I'll survive.
Yeah, it's been a great game. Very one-sided early, very one-sided late. The difference is it just flipped whose side it was on.
So there is a runner over there at second base, the assigned runner, as Babiak drops down a sac bunt to move the runner over to third. It's not actually, Babiak on the bunt attempt is going to be safe. Call that a single instead of a sac bunt.
Yeah, and that's a big play for Babiak there, getting that bunt down, using the speed to get down the baseline, and recognize that you can make a play there. Now you got runners on the corners with nobody out, and even if you do get into a double play here, that runner from third can still come across if they're not checking him properly.
So the third baseman, Bender, comes in. Jeremy Freeman in. Swinging at the first pitch. It's a strike. 3 for 4 tonight, 3 singles, and then struck out back in the 8th inning. It is Adam Volcano over there at third base now as Page throws a nice fastball on the outside. Black moves the count to 0-2.
And Page really has been having a great outing here tonight. And that bunt, it's a hard play to make for anybody.
There goes the runner. Hit and run is on. That one's into right field. It drops in for a base hit. Babiak is going to go first to third. And for the first time this evening, the Mavericks have the lead on the Jeremy Freeman RBI single.
Yeah, and you know how this game has changed. You know, just last night, we saw an absolute runaway early, and Mavericks almost came back. They put up 6 runs, and they really put up a fight. Tonight, it looked like it was going to be a similar outing with 5-0 lead halfway through this game, and the tides have turned, and it's been 6 unanswered now. And
Micah Dvorak coming in, second plate appearance of the evening. He looks to bunt. He pulls it back, though. It's ball number 1. Dvorak came in as a pinch hitter back in the 8th inning. Grounded out. Jaden Babiak leading off over there at third. Jeremy Freeman at first. Pitch from Aiden Page right up the middle by Dvorak. That'll bring another one across to score. Play station to station. RBI base hit out of Micah Dvorak.
And now you see where this trouble for the Red Sox is really starting to come up. We talked all night about how explosive this offense is for the Mavericks, and the Red Sox, you're really starting to see that why it was so important earlier in these games when they had runners in scoring position and important runners on. And this game might not have ever gone to extra innings had they scored, but
Johnny Volcano looks bunt. It's off the knee pad of Kalura for a wild pitch out of Aiden Page as the command gets away from the righty. Red Sox right now just looking to stop the bleeding.
yeah, and you want to get yourself into a spot where you are looking to make, or you're able to make that comeback, right? You don't want to be down too many runs, because then you not only do you have to press to just get on base, but now you have to press to get on base and clear the bases multiple times. If you say you get down 5, 6, 7 runs, and with 2 runners in scoring position and nobody out, you're looking at possibly being down 4, 5 runs with 1 swing of the bat here.
There's a 3-0 count, infield playing in. Runners on second and third. That one right down the middle. Johnny Volcano taking all the way.
Volcano this year, 387, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. Looking to add to some of those totals here. Page is looking to keep him right where he is. Keep the
Much
runners
better
at
pitch
second
out
and
of Page there. Called a strike, moves the count to full. Trying to get the first out of the inning. Down 7-5 now. Volcano pops this one. This one's going to land right on us. Ooh, just missed us.
You know, I don't think I've ever had a ball hit the top of this roof yet when I've been doing a call.
No.
No, I'm assuming it gets pretty loud, eh? No?
It does.
Yeah. I feel like it would be a loud. I guess it's wooden. I was expecting it to be metal, because when it hits the top of those metal dugouts, you hear it. But
Page gets the first out of the inning. Finally gets the first out of the inning. He's struggled so far in extras. And they'll intentionally walk Vanest to load the bases. Good decision there. Carter Roth now back to the plate, 3 for 5 tonight. He is either singled or struck out. So which one will it be here?
well, I'm thinking strikeout.
That would be nice to see. Aiden Page, bases loaded here. This one's in the dirt. Gets away from Babiak. Not far enough, though, for Jeremy Freeman to think about coming to home.
You know,
They
and I
will
think
check the swing down at first. Did not go around, says.
And I do think Freeman would have went. I just don't think he recognized that that ball got by Clara fast enough, and he held up a little bit, and that hesitation held him at third base.
Mavs have already brought across 2 across the plate here in the 10th. Now leading 7-5. Counts 1-1. Bases are loaded. Double play ball in order for Aiden Page. This one grounded to the first baseman, right. But he took it over to the bag and probably should have thought about throwing it to home. Gets an out, but it's a run across.
Yeah, and if there's 2 outs, obviously that's the play. You get out of the inning. But now it's just an extra run your offense has to make up here in the bottom. And you had the time to get that out. If you're only going to get 1 out, get the runner at home, right? And I think he realized that right away because he went to go throw it, and then he realized, oh, now we need a tag, and it's not going to turn out well for him. And
so 2 straight strikes to Evan Morrison. Still runners on second and third, but now 2 away. Aiden Page looks to get out of the 10th here, bring his bats back up. That one's swinging, but it goes to the backstop. This one goes all the way back there. So it's a strikeout, wild pitch, run scores, and now it is 9-5 Medicine Hat.
And how greatly this game has changed from the beginning of the game. You know, it almost looked like it was going to be a runaway with the Red Sox. And now, if you just saw the final
score. This one
score.
popped way up by Aaron Volcano. Page calls everybody off and makes the grab. Medicine Hat brings 4 across the plate to take the lead. It is 9-5 as we head to the bottom of the 10th inning. Red Sox look for a miracle here. We'll be right back on Home Team Live. Woof.
The other's one.
Oh, okay. Wild pitch. That was definitely a wild pitch. Wild pitch.
Where are we here? 9, right?
Regina Red Sox looking to get off the schneid as they have not scored since the 5th inning. We're now in the 10th. Matthew Fox will start the inning on second base.
Yeah, and we talked about earlier how both of these teams have good offenses, but it's really been the Red Sox pitching that's really helped them. And, you know, giving up 9 runs last night didn't hurt them because the offense was so electric last night. But tonight, the offense hasn't been bad by any means. They scored 5 runs, and 5 runs is a good number. But the pitching just kind of, I don't want to say fell apart there for a couple innings, but it really struggled. And same with the defense, a couple errors in the game, and now here we are down 9-5 in the bottom of the 10th.
There is a new pitcher on the mound for Medicine Hat. It is A.J. Dahl as Tucker swings at this one, but this one goes to the backstop, and it's a wild pitch. maybe the little bit of luck Regina needs.
Yeah, and sometimes that's what baseball's about, right? You might be struggling at the plate. You might be struggling as a team to get some runs across, but one thing goes your way, Ball sneaks by a catcher as you swing at strike 3. Now you got a little bit of momentum, right? And things start to go rolling your way. You bring up the top of the order.
So Sam Baker back up now. He's the leadoff hitter for Regina. 0 for 3 tonight. Has reached one time via the walk. Now I want to put this situation towards you, Jared. Look at a game from last season. This happened in the 9th inning instead of extras. No, it happened in extras. My bad. Regina gave up 5 runs in the 10th to Swift Current. Came back, scored 6, won the ball game in walk-off fashion.
Yeah, I think I remember that game. That was a great game. And it's not just because you give up runs.
This one hit hard and into right by Sam Baker. Under it is Aaron Volcano. But wow, what a throw. Keeps Matthew Fox at third base.
As I was saying, it's not impossible. Just because you give up runs in the top of the 10th does not mean the game's over, right? There's a reason we play the bottom. There's a reason you continue on. There's a reason at this level there's no mercy rule. And it's because in games like this, anything can happen. At least there's not a mercy rule this late in the game. Is there one after the 7th inning still in this? I don't know. I don't think we've ever gotten that far.
Raphael Jackson in. The pitch is inside. Has him dancing kind of out of the way. 1-0 the count. Red Sox just looking to get one. Just got to focus on scoring the first one. Jackson swinging hard. This one's playable and left, though. Here's where Jackson will run. So it's a sac fly for Raphael Jackson, and the Red Sox do get one. An important one run, though.
Yeah, and when you're at this point and you're down 9-5, now 9-6, all you can do is chip away. You just have to continue to go, continue to keep hitting the ball, and hope good things happen, right? Like, you're down 4, you don't have, down 3 in this case, you don't have 2 runners on base. So one hard swing of the bat isn't just going to tie the game up, and you want to just keep moving the line, especially now with 2 outs. Just keep moving the line, find ways to get guys going, get the next guy coming up.
As on the first pitch, the runner goes. This one is going to drop foul in between the shortstop, third baseman, and left fielder, all running over there.
And that falling fair might have been the big break the Red Sox needed, because that took a hard kick left as it hit the ground and could have given up given the possibility for an extra base with nobody covering third. Could have given that an extra opportunity for Tucker to get first to third there.
The task seems insurmountable. 2 outs here. There goes Tucker again. This one will be fair. Under it, though, is Dvorak, and Dvorak makes the play. And tonight, it is the Medicine Hat Mavericks in comeback fashion, defeating the Red Sox 9-6 on a Wednesday night. This one had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it did. Definitely a cleaner ball game defensively for both teams than last night. We talked about that, and we saw a lot of walks, a lot of hits, a couple home runs by each team. It really was overall a great game. We saw a big lead, that lead evaporate, and then we saw another big lead, and Red Sox unfortunately couldn't scratch it across and couldn't pull out the win tonight.
So when it's all said and done, Medicine Hat scores 9 unanswered runs to take this one. The final line for Medicine Hat is 9 runs on 16 hits, 0 errors. They did leave 13 runners on base. While for Regina, 6 runs on just 3 hits, 2 errors, and left 4 runners on base. To me, yes, they were working really good counts early in the ball game, but really when it came down to crunch time, the bats really fell asleep.
Yeah, and that's the difference, right? Bats fell asleep, and the Mavericks bats woke up, right? Mavericks came out slow. and kind of sluggish on the bats. They had some opportunities but couldn't really do anything with runners in scoring position. And then that narrative just flipped after that 3-run inning, and then the Mavericks were able to scratch across 4, then the single-run home run, and then the big 4-run inning in the 10th.
So it is Luis Diaz who gets credit for the win after pitching really good 4 2/3 innings the second half of this ball game. Well, Aiden Page ends up with the loss. Really, the pitchers did their part for the most part. It just and when Regina's bats got cold, Medicine Hat really heated up in at the end of this ball game.
Yep, and baseball is a game of hot streaks, both throughout the season and throughout a game, and that was really shown here tonight. And fortunately, that didn't go the Red Sox way, but they got more to come, and they'll bounce back.
So a midweek series here early in the 2025 WCBL season sees a split. Regina wins on Tuesday, Medicine Hat Thursday. If you're wondering about what's happening next, well, Regina will head over to Swift Current tomorrow and Friday night to take on the 57s, while the Mavericks will swing on down